So this is Baruch Fleischman. I'm here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. I'm reading this book by Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran, and it's called, really, in Hebrew, the Deveikus. It's the ultimate connection with God. What does he mean by ultimate? That actually, that if you learn, if you really care, if you really want to, and this is really directed by people who really want to overcome or need to overcome their life situation. Come to a book like this. First of all, you need a certain amount of leisure to be able to practice it. But to be able to try to practice the things that he's talking about, how to look at our thinking, look at our emotions. The looking itself nullifies the connection between who you think you are and the feeling itself. So we turned the last time how very difficult this can be, because what he calls the emotional ego, which is the ego that develops as a result of my feelings. The feelings that my body is worried about this or that, or what it needs, whatever it is, that rules our minds. We had the ability to be able to look at what we're thinking and what we're saying. And once we do that, all the chatter in the mind stops. So he said last week that you're going to get resistance to that, because we have identified so long with our emotional egos, as he calls it, that we really don't know how to look at ourselves in a different way. When we look at ourselves in a different way, or that when we look at these emotions and these thoughts that are spring out of them, we're actually changing our relationships to the thoughts. The thoughts are no longer, the process is no longer us. That is the thoughts and the feelings. What is us that is looking at it. Let's go over here that we want to talk a little bit now. In this book, I know that Rabbi Mimran put it out. He's not a wealthy guy, but he wanted to get the ideas out, and here they are, and there are a few written mistakes. So this says, Hashem gave Klal Yisrael the Torah as a gift, matnas chedem. He did this in order to attach our souls and bodies with our 248 body parts, there is a misprint there, and 365 sinews. And then he says to attach them to the positive commandments, to which are the 248 positive commandments and the 365 negative commandments. So that is to tie our bodies. We are physical beings, but we are actually a projection of something which is not physical. That is the Ein Sof Baruch Hu is projecting us out into our particular form. So Rabbi Mimran writes like this: becoming conscious is like lightning. Before there was only pure darkness. Like the candle's flame, conscious awareness has a powerful transformative ability. If we have been resisting true reality, we can stop resisting it only through the act of being conscious. When you become conscious, you feel as if you are waking up from a dream. So this means to me that I could be so worried or so preoccupied by some thoughts, and it does happen, that it is all there is in my life. Now, it could be that there's danger out there, and so you have to be aware of that. That's true. But on the other hand, we seem to carry this with us into all the rest of our lives. We see everything through the prism. This is like being caught in a cycle that you can't get, that is normal for you. But then you can become conscious of this. And if that happens, then it's like waking up from a dream. The way to arouse yourself from the dream world of living an illusion is to bring your attention to the emotional ego. Start looking at the way you're feeling, and to stay present as the observer. Just keep watching that. That's all it takes to initiate a major transformation. Let's turn the page here, get him up at the top. Now he says this is only something that you could do. No one else can do it for you, but others can support you in your journey of becoming conscious. If you are fortunate enough to find someone who is intensely conscious. Now, I think that knowing Rabbi Mimran, he lives a life just like everybody else does. I mean, he's working on Kedusha all the time, but he has to gain money for it. He has to travel around. So therefore, he's working on constant new situations. And therefore, this is what he means by intensely conscious, because you constantly have to be putting this process of looking at what you are feeling and thinking in your consciousness, that you could see it. So if you can share in that person's state of presence, that can accelerate the results of your own efforts, for it will help your own light grow stronger very quickly. Now, it seems to me that he says that if you could see this in other people, especially someone else who's working on it so hard, this could help you a tremendous amount by showing you the right way and seeing what a human being is like when he's trying very hard to concentrate on watching his thoughts, his feelings. It is like the spreading of a flame. It's like the spreading of a flame. If you have a log that has only just started to burn, and you place it next to one that is already burning fiercely, that fire will spread to your log, which will soon be burning strongly as well. Then, if the two logs are separated, your log will keep burning with much greater intensity, for it is all, after all, the same fire. So, last line, for it is, after all, the same fire. So basically what I see as Rabbi Mimran doing here is he's sharing his fire with us. Well, this is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Better Kollel, and his last word is, when you become conscious, you feel as if you are waking up from a dream. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to do this, and as a result, you will no longer have any problems, because the problems never stop. But your ability to be able to see them for what they are, that can definitely change. Once again, Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and also saying this shir on the Deveikus shir with Rabbi Mimran.